Hello, bonjour everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my video, and special thanks for those who subscribe to my channel. Today we'll talk about Flames of War, and we'll talk about making a ace campaign. And what it is, it would be 3 games, and it is so 3 missions, but consider it like an ace campaign. So that means each mission will have its particularity, and the total will declare kind of a win. What have based that ace campaign is from a version 3 book that I found a PDF file online. It's called Cassino, and it is Cassino, Italy, January to May 1944, version 3. So when I read that book, I found that book online, I downloaded it, I found it's kind of interesting. It's an ace campaign, infantry base, so there's really not many things through the campaign to be used, not many other units than infantry, so it's basically mostly done for infantry. The army that is involved is the German against the Allied during the Battle of Italy, so you will find some French unit, some American unit, or some British unit. In this case, for the ace campaign, it would be the German against the Brits, because that's the only 2 formations I have available to play. So it is a version 3, so this point system and the unit are can be completely different or similar to version 4, and 3 are similar to each others, but they have some difference. In this case, for the ace campaign, if you look at the organogram or the organization of each army, and we'll look at the German, you have for the ace campaign an option of a Fallschirmjäger, a Panzergrenadier, or a Grenadier Company. So here on the screen you can see that's the Fallschirmjäger Company, and you have the headquarters, the combat platoon, you have weapon platoon, and support platoon. In this case of the Fallschirmjäger, you can see on the screen there's some unit that exists in version 3 that doesn't exist anymore in version 4. So in a case like that, like the Fallschirm Pioneer that doesn't exist in version 4, we will not play those. So when it's time to build my forces, I will use all the company you see on the screen right now. So all the unit on the screen you see will be available to be played, and if the unit doesn't exist in version 4, you will not be allowed to play it. The same goes when you look at the screen for the rifle company for the British. You can see the headquarters, the combat platoon, then you get the weapon platoon, the support platoon, and the divisional support platoon. So the same way apply for the rifle company. If a unit for the British doesn't exist anymore in version 4, then you will not be able to pick from it, and you will have to use other unit available in version 3 and version 4. Now when we talk about the point system, I know that if we look at the Fallschirmjäger platoon, it was so many points in version 3, and it's quite difficult to convert that in version 4. The reason for that, it will make it difficult because the motivation or the skill might be different from version 3 to version 4, so the point would be different. I try to be fair facing the enemy, in this case the British. Then what I decide to do is the Fallschirmjäger Company you can see on the screen. If it is available in version 4, we're going to use the point in version 4, and we'll use the stat of the unit in version 4. So the motivation and skill, etc., will be from version 4. Now that is decided, I'm going to use the Fallschirmjäger Company for the German, and we will use the British Rifle Company for the opponent. And it is Cassino, and it is ace campaign. And what it meant by that as a campaign is technically it's a series of mission. When it's complete, you calculate the point, and to win the campaign is the one who accumulates the most points during the entire campaign. The book Cassino is meant to be played like a tournament. That means there's 3 fronts, or in this case, because they have the LIRI Valley, they have two other fronts to go with. I will not talk about the other front because we will play the LIRI Valley front. So basically, the LIRI Valley will have 3 missions. So the LIRI Valley route is Battle 1, it's called the Rapido. It's the first mission with 500 points of version 3. Then the LIRI Valley route, Battle 2, is the Gustav line, where it will play 700 points. And the LIRI Valley route, Battle 3, the Hitler line, for 900 points, version 3. So when we want to convert the point of version 3 to version 4, we use only those 500 points, 700 points, and 900 points. What I meant by that is not 500 points. To convert that is about 1 version 4 point for 15 version 3 points. So for 500 points, it is around 30 to 40 points. So to make it easy, then the Battle 1, the Rapido, will be 35 point version 4 or 500 point version 3, but we will stay away from version 3. So basically, it is a mission escalating campaign. So each mission, like I said, is 5, 7, or 900 points. So in version 4, we will play the first mission 35 points, the second mission 500 points, and the third mission 700 points. The good thing about that is each battle will not be too long because it's really few units. So the LIRI Valley Battle 1 Rapido, it is 500 points, so 35 point version 4. And it is said on the book Cassino to use a map that's 4 feet wide to 4 feet long. But for me, I decided to put 2 feet wide by 4. The reason for that, because 35 points is really few units. If you put that on 4 feet wide, then it will take 3 or 4 turns just to meet the opponent. So you will you can find yourself for 2-3 turns not able to shoot at each other because the field is so big and you have so few units. So we will not do that. That's why I decided 2 by 4. So basically, right from turn 1 or turn 2, you're going to be able to start to shoot at each other's. Then you get the mission selection, as you can see. For Battle 1, is if you roll the dice 1 to 3, it's river assault. If you roll 4, 5, would be no retreat. And if you roll 6, would be breakthrough. Then you have mission rules. If you are playing a river assault mission, you ignore the preliminary bombardment and limited fortification rules. And instead of using the mission normal ending the battle and deciding who one can shoot, use the following. The defender wins if there are no attacking team or on the defender's side of the rivers on or after the defender's turn. Or after the defender's turn 6. The attacker wins if they start any of their turns beginning on turn 6 with a combat platoon containing at least 2 teams and the platoon command team dug in on the defender's side of the river with no defending team within 4 inches. So you can see on the map here, the river is right here is the middle of the battlefield. So we're right in the middle. So they have to be on this side of the map and they have to be dug in 1 platoon of infantry with the command team. And the German to win, they will have to make sure there's no such digging unit on this side of the river. Like Second World War, the aim was to have a bridgehead, to bring engineers to place the bridge over the river so armored troop and subsequent unit can come over and help to break the line. So that's the idea, and it is an ace campaign. And an ace campaign means that you have special ability for your commander. In this case, we will play the simple one. We will not add medal system, etc. that you find in the Cassino book if you read it. But basically, you have is An ability quickly to reference is for the first mission, so turn 1 in the book. You can decide for leadership, tactics ability, or combat ability. I know that most are for version 3, but also apply in version 4. You may find some of those abilities not available in version 4. As an example, if you decide to go tactics, recon, scout, your infantry ace may use the eyes and ears rules. What it meant is in version 3, if you decide my commanding officer here is right there, you can use the eyes and ears rule, and what it meant is at the beginning of their turn, they're going to roll a dice, and if it is 4 plus, then any enemy that is 16 inches from the commanding officer, they will lose their gun to ground. So an example, the infantry team, British, is less than 16 inches. They are gun to ground, conceal. So basically, if the German were to fire at them, they usually, the British platoon is hit on 4, because they are gun to ground, they are hit on 5, and they are concealed hit on 6. But if you use the eyes and ears rules of version 3, and you roll 4, then if you shoot at the infantry during that turn, you will hit on 4. Gun to ground have no impact because of the ears and eyes rules, and they will be concealed, so you will hit them on 5. There's no such thing in version 4, so they will not be relevant. So to keep everything irrelevant of those abilities, what I decide is, if I decide to use recon scout, for example, for the British or the German, is I'm going to apply the version 3 rules. If this, for example, 9 figures, your infantry ace is now a pioneer team with tank assault 3, and they decide to go that route, then it's easy. Assault 3, that means if my commanding officer, ace officer here, there's a tank and they decide to assault the tank, when they throw their grenade at the tank, the assault would be 3. So that means, if I read, I might be wrong, but mean that the anti-tank is now 3. So when you roll, then you will have to make, for the tank to be safe, roll at least, if the top armor is 0, you need to roll a 3 to be possible bailout, to be bailout, or 4 to be safe. Otherwise, if you roll 1 or 2, it will be destroyed. So that's the basic of the game. Now, like I said, the mission selection is 1 to 3 river assault, 4, 5 no retreats, and 6 for breakthrough. I decided to use river assault mission. So what you do is you go on the Bagration River Assault Mission Terrain Pack Soviet, or version 4, and I will apply those rules. And the basic rule is you have to determine the current of the river at the beginning of the game. You have 1 boat per 4 boats per 25 points. The game is 35 points, so the British have 4 boats. So when the unit reach the river, they will receive 4 boats. For instance, if the command reach the river, you can have 3 teams per boat, so they will use 1 boat. If there's an infantry team that is beside, there's enough boat for the entire platoon to cross the river, so they will receive the number of boats that they need to cross the river. And that will end their turn, so they may decide to fire at the German if they are in range, and they will be there. And the next turn, they will get into the boat, and the boat will try to cross the river. For that, you would roll a dice, and the dice will say, if you roll 1 or 2, they will say you get drift, depending on the current, by 4 inches, 3 or 4, 8 inches, and 5, 6, 12 inches. So you're going to drift. So some may arrive right there, some may be 12 inches further down the river. That would be the end of turn 2 for the British. At turn 3, they disembark, and when they are on the boat, they cannot shoot. Anyway, that's the principle of that. So now you got the idea of it. we will play the game. And for that, when we look the force that both formation have, we look at the German Fallschirmjäger company. They have 35 points, and you must have an headquarters and 2 combat platoon that are darker, so 2 infantry Fallschirmjäger platoon, and also any other unit to reach 35 points that are part of the combat platoon. So in this case, the Fallschirmjäger will be 1 headquarters. They have 2 platoon of infantry Fallschirmjäger of 17. And then part of the combat platoon, you have a Fallschirmjäger machine gun platoon of 14. And also you can have weapon platoons. And I decide to have for that the Fallschirmjäger mortar platoon of 4 for a total of 35 points. On the British side, it's a bit different because the unit available for the British, when we look at their rifle company option, you must have the headquarters. Then you have a rifle platoon and combat platoon. You have a second rifle platoon that you must have. And the option you have after that is to have a third rifle platoon, an instinct platoon, a universal carrier platoon, or a mortar platoon. The brigade support platoon or army support platoon are not available for that mission. So for 35 points, I decide, because there's no tank allowed for that first mission, for that battle or that campaign, first mission, you're not allowed to have any tank, so there's no reason to have an instinct platoon. The carrier platoon or universal carrier cannot cross the river, so I do not want to take any of those. So I have left is a mortar platoon, and I can have the headquarters and 3 infantry platoon with the mortar platoon to reach 35 points. So basically, each British platoon are 5 teams with a Piat and a mortar team. And then I have 6 mortar 3 inches as my artillery. So that's the force we have in presence. I'm going to put them. The river assault also said that the German have a reserve. So the reserve will arrive starting to roll on turn 3. And it will be, if I remember right, let me check my stat, what I decide, the number of points. I decide would be 35 points, 15 points that you can have. So 20 points on the table, 15 points in the reserve. To have 15 points in the reserve, I'm going to have an MG42 rifle team, so 1 Fallschirmjäger platoon of 7 points. And I'm going to have the machine gun platoon in reserve. The rest is the headquarters, the Fallschirmjäger platoon, rifle platoon of 17, and my 4 mortar on the table at the start of the game. So my British forces are deployed. They don't have any reserve, so everybody is on the table. I modify a bit the map from the screen you saw at the beginning. I put a forest there for my mortar platoon to be hiding from this German. And the German, I modify a bit the map so the platoon of mortar can be hiding as well. Because it's river crossing, I also decide to make it a night attack. So the first 3 turns will be at night, because when during the Second World War the Allies tried to cross the Rapido River, they did it at night to make their bridge ahead. You can read about the rules, Flames of War book about the night attack. It's on page, just let me find it, it's on page 113. You get night fighting, so we're going to use those rules to fight, so to shoot at the enemy. Also, how far can you see in the dark? And for the German side now, we're going to go check them. Like I said, I have 1 platoon of a paratrooper in reserve. I have also the 4 heavy machine gun in reserve. And I deploy my formation of a Fallschirmjäger platoon of infantry already. So they are gun to ground and dig in. My formation commander is gun to ground dig in the forest. And I have my 4 mortar behind. One is in the house and the other are behind the forest or behind the house. That complete for the German force. Also, when you look at the Cassino, LIRI Valley Crossing, Rapido, they allow you to have fortification. So what it means, say you can have 4 points, so instead of 35 points, you can have 30 points or 500 points in version 3. You can have like 350 points or 400 points of troops and then purchase fortification. In this case, in version 4, they are not too keen on fortification. But what they have in version 4 is you can have minefield or you have barbed wire. For every 25 points, they allow you to have one minefield and 1 barbed wires or a combination or etc. depending on the mission of version 4. And this one, there's no fortification and crossing the river. But because in Cassino they use fortification, we're going to do the same. But because it's only 35 points, I will allow the German to have 1 minefield or 1 barbed wire to be placed and deployed. So it's 1 for 25 points. I decide to have a minefield, and the minefield is placed down the river because the current is going from where we see toward the top of the view. So when they will arrive, they will get on their boat. They will roll 1, 2 for 4 inches, 3, 4, 8 inches, and 5, 6, 12 inches. So they will be along the bank there. Also, like I mentioned, it's going to be night attack, and we'll go with the rules for night attack. So that's complete both sides. We start with the British turn 1. So turn 1 for the British. So what the British did is the formation commander and the 3 platoon of infantry move up 8 inches. So they are right by the river. But because we were able to put the marker for the mortar team, so they are placed in a way that the British do not to be inside that template. They will have to be more in the middle of the map to try to be away from the template and not get shot at by the mortar team, German mortar team. Now the way they are positioned now, they are less than 16 inches from the Fallschirmjäger platoon or the para platoon over there, but the night visibility have an impact. So if they want to shoot at them, they need to know how far their line of sight is. So the British platoon will roll a dice. If they roll 1, they see up to 4 inches, and if they roll a 6, they can see up to 24 inches. So for them to be able to shoot at 16 inches, the range of their weapon, they need to roll at least a 4. So we're going to roll a dice. If there's 4 plus, they will both be able to see at night far enough to see the German paratrooper. So we roll a 3, so they can see up to 12 inches. So they are not they do not see the German. So that will complete turn 1 for the British. Turn 2 for the German. So we'll let them move. Turn 1 for the German, they didn't decide nobody gonna move for where they are, they stay put, but they will change their range in marker. And they place a range in marker in the middle of between platoon 1 and platoon 2 of infantry rifle company. So they cover the entire platoon 1 and they cover the entire platoon 2 with the artillery plus the formation headquarters. Now to do the range in, it said here at night, bombardment at night, you don't need the night visibility table for range in, so you do not roll to see if you can see the aiming point. They will see the aiming point because the explosion will light up. But you need to add +1. So now they range in on the 3 plus. So now to try, they will start to range in on the 4 plus. So you got 3 attempts to roll a 4 to range in. So the first attempt, and 5 because of the terrain. So you need to roll a 5 to be able to range in because of the night is +1 and the terrain is +1. So you need to roll a 5, 3 attempts. So first attempt, it's a 2. Second attempt, it's a 4. And third attempt, it's a 2. So they are not able to range in. So that complete turn 1 for the German. We'll go turn 2 for the British. Before I start turn 2 for the British and turn 1, actually I'd say that the ability taken by the German commander and the British commander. So the German commander decided to do tactics ability, and he choose any mortar support. That means once per game, your ace may call for a 6-gun mortar bombardment. So on top of their 4 mortar platoon, he can have for 1 time per game for that game, 1 call for another mortar platoon. And then it will affect the same thing. You need to range in, it succeed, then he can shoot at the enemy. For the British, they decide to use crack shot, so combat. And crack shot said your infantry ace may reroll 1 of his miss while shooting. So if the formation commander shoot at the German and he missed, he can re-roll his miss to see if he can hit the enemy. So let's do movement turn 2 for the British. Like in every game, you have to be quite flexible. So I'm pretty flexible with that. On turn 1, the British should have used his mortar. I'll try to range in on the platoon of Fallschirmjäger. So I'm going to try to range in. I need to hit, I think it's my mortar platoon. The skill is 3, so you need a 4 because of the distance, 4 because of the night, and 5 because of the terrain, because if you put the template over, you're probably going to hit the house behind. Yes, but that way you cover everybody. I think you can move right here, so I'm going to just move it, so we don't need to hit the building, so we need only 4 to range in. So we have 3 attempts to range on the 4. So first attempt, it's a 6, so we're ranging on the first attempt. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team. So we're going to roll 5 dice, and we hit on the 4. So that's the 4 penny platoon. Here, 6, 7. So we just roll 7 times, and that will complete. There's no special weapon. So 7 dice, hit on the 4. So we hit 4 times. So we need 4 save. So we save on the 3 plus. And only 1 doesn't save. And to save him, firepower, I mean, because they are dig in. So the firepower for the mortar team is 4. So I need to roll a 4 to destroy 1 team. And I roll a 2, so the platoon is safe. But they are pinned down. Now we're going to go and see turn 2 for the British. Sorry about that, but it's been a while I haven't played, I forget stuff, so that's why I do those practices. So turn 2, we're still at night. My movement is, my formation commander is on a boat with his other team. They're going to roll, like I said, 1, 2, 4 inches, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we roll a 4, say you move 8 inches along the river. So we're going to calculate 8 inches. So you're going to move over there. Then this boat, we're going to roll for him. And we'll roll a 4, so it's as well 8 inches. So we move 8 inches and place it on the bank. The next boat is a 3, so we move 8 inches. So right on the other side of the other boat. And then lastly, the last boat, we roll a 4, so we move 12 inches. So when we look at 12 inches, it's right at the edge over here. By placing the minefield right, they are pretty good because there's these two boats that will disembark right in the minefield. So there's going to be a lot of trouble for many of the unit. So that complete movement. The other platoon of infantry move along the river. They don't have boat available for them. They will have to wait that the boat come back ashore on their side to continue. So now the shooting phase. My ranging is still there. So they will shoot. So there's 17. And we shoot at them one time each. And we need it on 4. So only 2 hit. So each one, because it's a repeat bombardment, you need 2 save. So the first one is safe, and the second one is safe as well. But they were pinned down. I did not check if they were unpinned, so they stay pinned down right now. So that's shooting for them. The infantry on the boat cannot shoot while they are on board. The other platoon that move against the river, they are less than 16 inches. They can shoot, but for that they need to do a night visibility check. So they need to roll the dice, and they need to roll at least 4+ to be at least 16, to see at least 16 inches. And they roll a 2 so they don't see the enemy. So that complete turn 2 for the British. Turn 2 for the German. They are pinned down, so we're going to roll to see if we can unpin. So for the German to unpin, we need to roll. So their motivation is 3+, so we need to roll a 3+. So let's roll. And we get a 6, so they are not pinned anymore. With the pin down, so they are not pinned. Now we will do movement. There's no movement from the German. They stay where they are. We're going to need to try to range in against, and we're going to place it again right here on the covering the 2 platoon waiting on the side of the river. So they need to range in on for the Fallschirmjäger. The range in is, just to make sure, they need the 3 because their skill is 3, 4 because it's night, and 5 because of the terrain. So we need to roll a 5. Roll a 4, second attempt, roll a 3, and third attempt, roll a 4. So they are not able to range in. Now the shooting phase, we have our Fallschirmjäger platoon here. They are 13 inches from, just to be sure, they are less than 12 inches. So we need to roll the night visibility table at 3+ to be able to shoot at the platoon in the boat. So we need 3+. We roll a 6 so they can see the entire battlefield up to 24 inches, and their ranged weapon is 16. So we're going to fire. They haven't moved, so we stop. Rate of fire is out, and we're going to hit the formation commander here. We hit the formation commander, British on a 4. They are concealed, so hit on the 5. And because we shoot at night, we ask +1, so we need 6. We will look at the platoon of Fallschirmjäger, and out is 2 shots each. So we're going to shoot 17, 14 shots. So I'm going to just place my table here for 14 shots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's 14 shot. We're going to roll. And we hit on the 4, 5. So we hit on 6. So we need 6 to hit the formation commander there. So we have 1, 2 hit, and the rest miss. So the formation commander, say, is a 3. So him and his partner and the boat, they need to roll a 3 to be safe. They roll 2-2. Both are destroyed because they are not in bulletproof cover. Now, because the infantry platoon right beside is right there, so we can replace the formation commander by one infantry team. So we have one team destroyed and one from the platoon destroyed because he replaced. And they hit only twice, so they are not pinned down. So that complete turn 2 for the German. So let's go turn 3, British. So beginning of turn 3, it's still night time for the British, and they just got off the boat. When they got off the boat, the formation commander is right there. He lost his teammate under fire on turn 2 by the German, and 1, 2, 3, 4 team, 5 team find themselves stuck in the minefield. So everybody got hit in the minefield, so you need to roll a save for each of them. So you need to roll a 3 for each. So we're going to go with the mortar team. We need to roll a 3. It's safe. We get the Piat team, need to roll a 3. It's safe. We get the platoon commander, a 3+. He failed, so he's destroyed. And the last 2 teams, they need a 3+ to be safe. And we lost one of them too. So we're going to replace the platoon commander with the Piat get killed, and we're going to remove one infantry team. But they are pinned down now because of the minefield. Now they will conduct artillery fire. We're going to check if they are far away from the template or not. So we need to be at least 4 inches from the template to be able to use it, or they will be too close during that time. So they are less than 4 inches, so we will have to move the aiming point, and they decide to move the aiming point, so we're going to just back up the aiming point, and we're going to put the aiming point right in the back. So that will bring all those teams under the template. The last one is not under the template, but now the template is part touch this, so we need to range in on the 3. At night it's a 4, and because of terrain you need to roll a 5 to range in, so we need to roll a 5. 3, second attempt, it's a 1, and the third attempt, it's a 4, so they were not able to range in. Now shooting, my infantry platoon here are in range, but they are more than in range. They are less than 8 inches for everybody. So we try to shoot. For that night vision, we need to roll to see. So to be able to fire them, the night visibility table, we need to roll a 2+ to be able to see. We roll a 6 so they can shoot at the platoon. For that they are moving, so the rate is 1 shot each. They have 1, 2, 3 team, so they roll 3 dice, and they hit gun to ground, conceal, night, so they hit on 7. So we need to roll 7. So there's one possibility. We need another 5+, and we don't. So they didn't hit the German. We were not able to aim, so we're going to remove it. The other platoon here is on the boat, crossing. So that platoon cannot shoot because the boat are there, they just embark, so they cannot fire through their troops. So that completes turn 3 for the British, turn 4 for the German. So turn 3 for the German. First of all, for them, they will need to roll if we are now at daylight. So we need to roll at least a 5 plus, and it's going to be daylight. If they fail, it's 4 and less, then they stay at night. So roll a 4, we say at night. The second roll would be to bring reserve. So we need to roll at least a 5 to bring the reserve. We got a 3, there's no reserve, and that complete the roll. There's no pin down unit, and there's no reserve tank so in the game. So we're good. We'll do movement for the German. They do not move, they stay where they are. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the range in right by the water here, because we were not able to range in, so why not moving them by the water? So here we can see all of them and everybody on the boat. So we need to range in on a 3, 4 because it's at night, 5 because of the terrain. So we need to roll a 5 to be able to range in. We roll a 5, so we're range in on the first attempt. Now that we're range in, we're going to do fire mission. So they're going to fire on each. They are hit on the 4 plus. So we got the Piat platoon, need a 4. No. Then we have the mortar platoon on a 4. No. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team. And we're going to use 5 German dice for that, because I'm losing with the Canadian dice for 5 team. 5 dice for 1 for each team. We need a 5. We need a 4, so we're 2 hit. They need to roll 2 dice for save. They need a 3 plus. So let's roll. 4 and 6, they are safe. The team behind, the platoon behind is the same thing. 1 roll for the Piat, and they need to roll a 4 plus to it. It's it, so the Piat is it. We need to roll for the mortar team, 4 plus. It's not it. And then we need to roll for the rest of the platoon, so 5 teams, so 5 dice. And we need to roll a 4 plus. So we have 3 hit. Now the British have 3 safe. And 1 fails, so 1 is destroyed. So that completes the mortar team. We will try to use the one-time mortar team from the ability, because I think it's a... Now we're going to wait 1 more time. I think we can wait. It's still dark. If we can do that during the days, we don't have the penalty, so we won't use that ability for my ace commander. So that's complete. Both teams here are pinned down, so we're going to mark them pinned down. So they're going to have to unpin next turn. So before, when they disembark from their boat, they're going to be pinned down. So that complete turn 3 for the German, turn 4 for the British. Turn 4 for the British. Before we start to play, we have to check if we have daylight. So we need to roll 2 dice. On our 5 plus, it would be daylight. So none of them, so we stay at night. Now we need to see if we can unpin those troops. So the people in the minefield, they are pinned down automatically because they were on the minefield. So we need to roll to unpin. And they need to, for that motivation, it's a 4 plus. So we need to roll a 4 to unpin. No, we need to rally. Yeah, we need to a 4 to rally. So we need to roll a 4 to rally. So they have a 5. They are not pinned anymore. The first platoon here in the boat need a 4 plus. They have, and the last platoon need a 4 plus. And they have. So all three teams are not pinned anymore. Now in version 4, to remove a minefield, the team has to be in a minefield. The commander can give the order to remove the minefield to one of his platoon team. That team will not be able to move if they decide to move, but the minefield will be removed. So the formation, the platoon commander say, remove minefield to him. So they will remove the minefield. And that's it for them. They can shoot, and it is considered to have moved when they remove the minefield, so they shoot at moving rate. What they're going to do is going to try to dig in. For that, they use their skill. The skill is 4+, so we need to roll a 4 to dig in. And they get a 4, so they dig in. And if they don't shoot, they are gone to ground. If they shoot, they still dig in, but they won't be gone to ground. But so far, we're going to keep them there. We have our 3 boats here. We're going to see when they go across, so they need to roll to go across. So the first one roll a 5, so they move 12 inches. So from the far end, 12 inches is right over here with this 2 team. Then the second team here, they have 2 inside as well. A 5, so they move 12 inches. So that will bring them right past those guys. And the last team, we roll a 4, so they move 8 inches. So 8 inches probably bring them right over here. So we're going to just move the 3 team there. So everybody have moved. They are not pinned. Then they decide not to shoot. Here also they don't shoot, but they're going to try to go and dig in. So for them, their skill is 4. They need to roll a 4 to dig in. And they have a 6, so they dig in. So they are. And they fox all and gone to ground. So that complete turn 4 for the British. So we already have 4 turns, and we have, oh, I did not roll to see my formation commander here will dig in, so we need to roll. And for them, the skill is 4. So we need to roll a 4 and get a 4, so they dig in. So that complete turn 4 for the British. Everybody is digging, so technically they are in position to win, but it cannot until turn 6. So we're going to place them there. The Germans feel pretty confident with that. Now we're going to play the German. So the German will stop turn 4. First for the German, they're going to roll 3 dice, and they need to roll at least a 5+ to be at daylight. So they roll a 6. We are now daylight, so we can see where we shoot at. Next, turn 4, we need to call for reserve. So we roll 2 dice. We need a 5+ to bring reserve to the table. And we have a 5, so one team can come and join my Fallschirmjäger platoon. So we're going to bring my next platoon of Fallschirmjäger. I'm going to put them on the table. I'm going to move them, and then we'll look at other movement and come back. So my movement is complete. We have my second platoon of Fallschirmjäger in town, in the small village. They move 8 inches from the back of the map because they are reserve coming in, so they can move 8 inches. We have my Fallschirmjäger platoon moving forward. They will prepare to assault the infantry team there of a rifled company. and then we will have bombardment done by the mortar. So the mortar is a repeat bombardment. They're going to try to hit that platoon waiting for the boat to come back. It's already ranging, so we don't have to range again. They are hit on 4. They have 5 teams, so I need 4 plus to hit them. I need 4 plus. I mean, they are hit on 4, so I need 4 plus to hit them. And they are daylight, so 2 hit. So it's a repeat bombardment. So they need to save twice to be safe. So the first one is safe. The second one is safe, but they are pinned down. Now we're going to go and see how we can manage to assault that infantry platoon. So they are in range. It's daylight, so I can just shoot. They have moved, so I have to rate the fire of moving to hit the British infantry. So the rate of fire is 1 shot each. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots. So I need to roll 7 dice under. And I need at least 5 hits. So they are hit on 4. I think we're that lucky. We got a 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we hit them 5 times. So the unit is pinned down. They need to do their save. So I distribute 1 each, or we can see. So let's say 1, 1, 1, 1. This one is not part of the, and 1 there. So now they need to do their save. So those 1 need a 3 plus to be safe. They failed twice. So I think he is dead. This one. So 4 is safe. This one is safe. And the last one is safe. Now they are digging. So I'm going to just check in the book if he is dead or not. Because they are digging, we need to do a save. So I'll be back after I check in the book. So they failed their save, but I need to do firepower against them. So I need to roll a 6 to be destroyed. So the last team over there, they failed their 2 save. So I need to roll a 6 of one of the 2 dice to destroy that team. A 4 and 3, so it's safe, but the unit is pinned down. Now we're going to do the assault. So it's time to conduct the assault. It's defensive fire for the British. They are pinned down, so it's 1 shot each. There's 3 teams with the mortar, so only the 3 teams can shoot. So it's 3 shot. The formation commander is right beside. He's not pinned down, so he has 3 shots. So it's 6 shots total. And we hit on 4. So we need to hit 5 times to bog the assault, and they have to withdraw. And we need 4. So we have 3 hit and 3 miss. So we're going to allocate 1, 2, 3. So we need to save. So 3 save. And everybody is safe, so they're going to conduct the assault. For that, the German skill is 3. So we need 3 to destroy the enemy. The team at the far end, again the platoon, they need 3 plus. So the team is destroyed. The British team is destroyed. The second 3 plus for the other team, and is destroyed with the 6. The third team with the platoon commander need 2 shots. And the 6 and 3, so it is destroyed. The mortar team is 1 shot. You need a 3 plus. And it's a 1 is the only one safe. So we're going to move them away. So he's dead, but we're going to replace with him. No, he's dead, dead, and dead. Counterattack for the mortar platoon, if we can see. Because it's a direct shot, you cannot miss. Mortar platoon, let me check with it. Counterattacks is assault 4. So we need to roll a 4 to counterattack instead of a 3. So we need to roll a 4. You roll a 2, you cannot counterattack, so we have to withdraw. So you need to move 6 inches. The formation commander, he can roll to counterattack as well. He roll a 4, he needs a 3, but he decided to move, so he moves 6 inches. Both are pinned, they are pinned down. The commander is fine. So they are at least 6 inches. And my platoon of Fallschirmjäger gonna move and consolidate at least 4 inches away from the British. And that will complete for the assault. So my para platoon put themselves move at least 4 inches in any direction away from the British and make a new line of defense. Now in regard of the people on the boat, technically they are less than 6 inches, they will have moved. They were not part of the assault because they were on the boat. So let's just say that after thinking about it, they were on the river crossing, so they were not completely there. They were doing their movement, and they are getting ashore as the assault is finished. And that will complete for the German at this point an assault. Beginning of turn 5 for the British. Now here we have the situation where formation commander is there. There's only the mortar team for the rifle platoon, so I think it has to be changed with the platoon commander. So we're going to replace him, but they are pinned down, and the other team here is pinned down. If they are not able to unpin, they will not be able to jump into the boat because they got to get closer to the enemy, and they cannot do that. We have the platoon at the far end on their boat. They're going to try to land. So we're going to replace the team leader for the platoon on the enemy territory and see if they are able to unpin and if they can succeed last 10. So beginning of turn 5, it was only the mortar platoon left, so I replace it with the platoon commander because usually the platoon commander stay and you lose one team. So I remove the mortar team to put the platoon commander. Now he's alone, so he need to do his pin down and he need to do last 10. So we're going to see if he stay pinned down, so we need to roll at least a 4 to confident. So he's unpinned, but now he need to do last 10. Last 10 for them, it's need to roll a 4. So we're going to try, and we roll a 5, so his last 10 is fine. Now the other platoon here is pinned down. We need to roll a 4 to unpin. We roll a 6, he is unpinned. So both are unpinned. And here, we have that platoon here. They're going to try to dig in. So we need for that to dig in. And the skill 4, so we need to roll a 4. You roll a 5, he can pin. And the formation commander need to roll a skill, a 4 to dig in. You roll a 2, but commander, I think, can re-roll. And he got the 2, so he cannot dig in. But they are gun to ground, both team. But the formation commander is not in foxhole. So that complete for them. We're going to move the team ashore and bring back the boat to the British side. To complete movement for the British, the 3rd platoon jump on the boat and start to go across. So they roll their dice to see how much drift they will do, and that's how they find. So one platoon have to drift at least 12 inches, 1 4 and 1 8, so that's why they are so a bit separation in between. Now they have move over there, so they cannot ask for dig in. They are dig in over here and gone to ground, and they are gone to ground and fail dig in for the formation commander. So now shooting phase for the British. This platoon will fire 1, 2, 3, 4 shot at the Fallschirmjäger, and because they are moving, is 1 shot each. They hit on 4. And they miss all their shot. And that will complete. No, we're going to try to have artillery done. Again, the Fallschirmjäger 2nd platoon on the far end. So we're going to use the mark, the range in, and try to range in on them. So we're going to just make sure that if there's a change in the ground, so if there's a penalty for the ground, and we're going to try to range in. So I place the range in marker right in the middle there of the 2 hours. So the marker, the template doesn't touch the 2 hours and it stays on the same terrain. So there's no penalty for terrain. So they hit, and they can range in on the 4. So we're going to need to roll a 4. Let's see for the mortar platoon, just to make sure if there's a 4, the mortar platoon. No, the veteran skill is 3, so they range in on the 3. So we get a 3 dice to range in on the 3. So first dice, it's a 6, so they range in on the first attempt. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 team under the template. So we're going to roll 6 dice and hit on 4. So we have 3 hit. And because they just move in, they are not dig in. So if we fail the save, they will be destroyed on each. So we need to do their save. 3 plus to save. 1, 1, 4. So we lose 2 teams. So let's lose those 2 teams. And that complete for the artillery fire. So this team is now pinned down. So we will complete turn 5 for the British and go turn 5 for the German. Turn 5 for the German. So they have 1 team pinned down, we need to unpin. So we look at their stat and the Fallschirmjäger. Their motivation is 3, so we need to roll a 3 to unpin. We roll a 6, they are not pinned anymore. Now I'm going to put them gun to ground and I'm going to try to dig in. So team commander is right there. So we need to roll a 3. Their skill is 3. So if they roll a 3, they're going to be dig in foxhole. So roll a 1, they fail, so they are not, but they are gun to ground. We call for the reserve. The reserve arrive from the back because it's 3 dice and it's an automatic 1 unit. 1 unit is left, so I don't need to roll. So we have my heavy machine gun. I'm going to move up to 8 inches onto the battlefield. So I'm going to put them over here like this. And here's my four machine gun are installed. I'm going to move my infantry and then come back for firing and assault if it is considered by my unit. So turn 5 for the German. They have moved. It's time to shooting phase. So first of all, what we decide to do is put a range in right there for the mortar platoon. They're going to fire range in, and the template doesn't touch, so it stays on the same terrain. So it's the same ground, so there's no penalty for that. And they are at least 4 inches of my last German team over here. So we need to roll for the German a 3 plus. So when we roll a 3 plus, we are range in. So the first attempt, it is a 6. So we're range in on the first attempt. Everybody is under the template except this team. So 1, 2, 3, 4 team under the template. And we hit on 4. So we have 3 it. Then we're going to try the mortar platoon. Is it, and the Piat platoon team. And the Piat is not it. So the mortar platoon is it. Mortar team is it. And 3 team as well are hit. So they need to do their safe. We're going to start with my 3 team. So they need 3 to save. 2, 2, 1. So they just lost 3 team. Because they are not dig in, so they are not in bulletproof cover. Now, my mortar team was it, so we need to roll, and we need to roll a 3 plus, roll a 1, he failed, so he is destroyed. Now in regard of my, so that completes the artillery. I have the choice, I haven't played yet my what do you call it, ability, ace ability, or you can call an artillery fire once per game. On turn 5 I haven't used it yet. I think it's a good time to use it. I'm going to try to use it just to see. So we have this team pinned down. I'm going to use my other team. So let me find a range in token, and we're going to place it, and I'm going to try to range in. So I place the range in right in the water over here. I cover all the team under the blanket. Now my ability is to call 1 artillery, and this is a 6-gun mortar bombardment. So basically, every miss, I'm going to roll again. But let's see if we can range in. So we're ranging on the 3 because of the terrain. We're ranging on the 4. So we need to roll a 4 to range in. First dice, we roll a 6, so we'll range in. And that's what become really interesting is we're going to go with that one first. It on the 4. Miss, but we re-roll and we hit the Piat. We miss, roll again, and we hit. And the commander at the far end, 5, so we hit. So we need 3 safe. So the first one is safe. Second one is safe, and the third one is safe. So all 3 are safe. Now the platoon and the boat are hit also by the artillery. So with first team here, first boat, there's 2 team on it. So we're gonna roll 2 dice. Hit on 4. I fail 1, so I re-roll, and I fail again. So 1 hit the 4. Well, to be fair, let's do it again because I can re-roll the fail. So we're going to do 1 at a time to be fair and square. So the first one, roll is fail, re-roll is fail. Second one, roll is fail. This one, it fail. The next boat, first one, it's a 2, so we fail. And then a 1 is failed. The Piat, it's a 1. And then we roll a 4, so there's 1 hit. So the platoon would be pinned down. And then we have the mortar team. Did not hit. Is it. And then the team commander, the platoon commander is 1 and 3, so we did not hit. So we're going to try to save. If we can save that that guy, is safe, and the Piat is failed. So we lost 1. If I'm right, I might be wrong, but at this point, turn 5, I'm pretty confident it's right there, and the team is pinned down, so they will not be able to land if they are pinned down because they get close and they cannot get closer to the German when they are pinned down. So that complete the artillery. We had the mortar platoon that far, and then the ace ability for my German called another artillery, another mortar team for artillery, and we pinned down both units, but they lost only one team, so not too bad. Let's see shooting now. So shooting here, they have moved, so it's one shot each, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots. They're going to shoot at the formation commander, and they hit on the 4, so 6 shots, hit on the 4. So there's 3 hit. So 1 go to the formation commander, and 1 go to that guy, because they are right beside and they are the same. And if you hit the formation commander or an independent team, you can distribute 2 units around if they are the same kind, so they are infantry. They need to do the save. So formation commander, sorry about that, moving the screen, need a 3 to save. 1, 1, so he's dead. And then we'll see if we can replace by him. If he's safe, we're going to replace him. And it's safe, so he becomes the formation commander. So we're going to remove that. No, because this one is in foxhole, we will add to do firepower, but we don't have because it's safe. But the formation commander is replaced by the platoon, so we need to do assault now. So we're going to have the assault done like that, 4 inches each. Again, I move the screen. Am I at 4 inches from it, from that side? Yes, I am, so I can move him like this. And this guy, can he move in 4 inches? Yes, he can move in, so we are all around. He will conduct defensive fire. It's 3 shots. There's no, he's not pinned down, so there's no penalty for that, so he got his 3 shots. And he will not be able to remove the assault, so let's see. Let's re-roll the sideways there. 164, so there's 2 teams destroy. Pretty easy. And then there's 4 teams left. So the skill for my Fastrum Jager is 3. So we destroy on the 3, so 4 shots. 544, so he is destroyed. There's no team, I think 6 inches or less. Wait a minute, before we do that, we forget that he might be 8 inches away from. Yes, so he had 1 shot, so we might destroy 1 more. I forget who's 8 inches away. The people on the boat cannot shoot, but this team here is close enough to be able to shoot at the German, so he had 1 dice and he hit on a 4. And he hit a 3, so he's fine. So it doesn't change. He is destroyed. Is there any team at 6 inches? There's no team, so the formation commander is destroyed. Now we have 2 platoon in the formation. No formation commander, so I'm going to read a bit. If that stopped right there, or we're going to go turn 6, but that complete turn 5 for the German. So before we turn in turn 6, let me read a bit the rule book, and we'll come back. Here we are at the beginning of turn 6 for the British. There's no formation headquarters. There's only 2 platoon left. Both platoon are pinned down. Right now, there's 1 platoon on the ground in German side, and there's 1 in the boat. It said here the LIRI Valley route, the Rapido, and if you choose the mission River Assault, the defender win if there are no attacking team or on the defender's side of the river on on or after defender's turn 6. So right now, the German did not win because there's a team on the side of the on the side of the German side of the river. So they are not ready to win for the German. The attacker win if they start any of their turn beginning on turn 6 with at least a combat platoon containing at least 2 teams and the platoon command team dug in on the defender side of the river with no defending team within 4 inches. So right now, if there's no German team and both teams were dig in the German side, they will hold and win because it's the beginning of turn 6. Now we can go and play turn 6 for the British and turn 6 for the German. If and only if I'm not able to unpin, and they will have to do, no, they don't do a light stand. So if they don't unpin, we'll try to dig in, but the boat would not be able to come ashore because they are pinned down. So let's unpin. So the team in the German side on the ground, they need to unpin a 4+. So we need to roll a 4 to unpin. They are unpinned. The one in the boat need a 4 to unpin. And they fail, so they stay on their boat. So we're going to unpin this team. And then we're going to roll to see if they can dig in. So for that, we need to roll at least a 4+. They roll a 2. They are not able to dig in. We're going to remove the German range in because it's only 1 per game. And this team is still pinned down, so they cannot land into German side. So basically, the British would try to dig in. I don't remember if I did that. So let's say the iron pin, we're going to try to dig in. So we need a 4. Oh, I think I said I fail. So they're not dig in. So they are only gone to ground because they will not shoot. Now the Germans need to remove the threat to be able to win at the end of their turn. Because it said, the defender win if there are no attacking team on the defender side of the river on or after the defender turn 6. So on turn 6 or after turn 6. So if I remove the team, there will be no defender team after turn 6, and they're going to win the game. And if I destroy them, then the formation will not have enough team, so they will have to withdraw anyway. So let's play them. So we're going to do movement. So the movement is complete. They move in position to be able to shoot and assault. My other Fallschirmjäger platoon did not move. So I'm going to just move the camera so you can see. They are less than 16 inches, and they are not blocked by the friendly team. So they will have 2 shots each to fire at the platoon before the assault. So I'm going to just move the camera. We're going to roll dice to see if we destroy the team or pin them down at least. So turn 6 for the German shooting phase. This team going to fire 2 shots each. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, so it's 10 shots. Need to hit on 4. They are going to ground, so need to hit on 5. So we need 5 to hit. We have a bunch of them, so 2 hit, 2 hit, and 2 hit. So everybody have been hit 2 times. The British will need to save, so need to save here, need 3+. And he failed, so he is destroyed because they are not dig in. Second team, 2 and 3, so they are failed again, and so they are destroyed. And the last team, 4 and 3, they are safe. Now that complicates the game because now we are more than 4 inches away from them. So those guys are gonna fire 1 shot each, so 1, 2, 3 shots, and we need to hit on 4 and 5. So we need to hit on 5, 3 shots. We got one hit. He need to do is save. One he failed. Bad luck there. So he is destroyed. Now the Germans have complete their shooting. There will be no assault because there's no troop. So let's see what happened with them. So that complete turn 6 for the German. The German was able to destroy the formation command and the 2 infantry platoon, and there's only 1 British infantry platoon left at the end of turn 6. Now for the formation to still continue, they need at least 2 platoon in the formation, and if there's only less than that, they are not in good spirit, and they just turn around and go back home. So the last platoon in their boat, they will not continue to fight. They say, there's no way we land and we survive, so we just pack and go home. So that's complete turn 1 or stage 1 of the campaign in the LIRI Valley. The German win, and the British turn around and were not able to succeed and cross the river. When we look at the Battle of the LIRI Valley during Second World War in 1944, the Allies never been able to cross the river and put a foot in the LIRI Valley. They were able to do that only when, on other part of the front line, they were able to move forward. So the Germans had to withdraw to the next line of defense. So that's what will happen. The turn 2 would be on the Gustav line, because the Germans are starting to lose other place in the front line. So they need to withdraw and put a new line of defense. Thank you for watching my little ace campaign, the LIRI Valley route, Battle 1, the Rapido. The German Fallschirmjäger win and the British lose. My next video will be the LIRI Valley route, Battle 2, the Gustav line, and we will go from 35 points to 50 points. So thank you again for watching. I'll see you soon with my next video. Bye-bye.